Boers and Bernstein. Afternoons on the Score.
Fung is winning. Winning is Fung.
It's time for Dumb Arguments, or arguments you've had that are dumb.
Jeremy Lin or Jordan? Gun to your head at the same age. Who are you taking?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, come on, Les.
Michael Jordan.
Don't like it.
You're an idiot.
I'm Italian. I like to argue.
Scusi, Babidi-boopy? What are you, stupid?
Les, what does it have to do with it?
It has everything to do with it. That's what you hang your hat on because you're a dumbass.
Every damn week, Doug. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
and the only time
what I
that
want
we
to
play a
see,
good
Ed,
team, I don't care.
give me some
Till we
tempo
play
in
a
the
good
damn
team,
thing.
and
Some
we're
tempo.
very. Then you'll finally see him stretch the field.
Maybe, but the point is,
I don't
want
give
to
a
see
damn.
tempo.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna knock your nose so far you're gonna have to think of your head. Beat the crap out of you.
Dumb Arguments. Only on the Boers and Bernstein Show on Friday Fung.
Boers and Bernstein.
Fung is winning. Winning is Fung.
Chicago Sports Radio 670. The Score.
312-624-6767. Friday Fung has arrived. Dumb Arguments.
That's the number, and we've got room for you. We want to hear your stories. This one we've done before, and I don't think I need to do much of a description. So let's get rolling with Jeffrey to start us off on the Score. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
All right. So I'm having a bit of a debate with people at my office. You know those little animations on Twitter, GIF, GIF? So
right.
Everybody, I've heard like different pronunciations of it. One night my coworker's like, "Oh, it's Jif, like Jif peanut butter." So after a while, I'm like, "Jif, GIF." Well, there was a lot of time passes, and then one night, one of our higher ups said Jif, and I'm like, "No, it's Jif." Then he just kind of like flashes out because everybody, you had to have their own different pronunciation for it, and everybody is kind of arguing over, whether it's GIF or GIF. To this day, I maintain it's GIF just because my one Twitter-savvy coworker says it's GIF, but our higher-up says it's GIF, and I've learned not to talk about it at work just because it leads to an inevitable argument. So that's my 2 cents right there.
Now, it's GIF, so you'd be right. This is from, this is unsigned,
Yes.
who says, my mother-in-law explained to my wife that there was a dinosaur show coming up at the Metro Center. My wife said that my son would be interested and that these were animatronic dinosaurs, but my mother-in-law said no, insisted they had real live dinosaurs there, saying why else would they charge $35 to get in? My wife and her mother argued for 10 minutes, with her mom saying, you think you know everything just because you went to college.
Then she called here.
Then she immediately called the Boers and Bernstein Show.
Holy crap.
Talking about the Cubs. John and Joliet, welcome to the Score and Dumb Arguments.
Good afternoon, guys. We just let my parents move in with us, and we figured a Vietnam veteran, they need a place to live, come live with us. Well, my wife and I come home from work one day, and my parents are screaming at each other. So my wife asked, what's going on? And my dad's yelling at my mom about a remote control. Well, my mom realized she didn't have her hearing aids on, and my dad's hearing aids batteries were low, so we thought they were fighting.
That's a house full there, my friend.
So it wasn't even really an argument.
Well,
they were just speaking loudly. Surprisingly flexible bonobo says, I was explaining to my teen daughters that they'd be on their own for dinner because I was taking their mother to a gala to support their school. And my eldest daughter corrected me, says it's pronounced gala. So for the next 4 minutes, we discussed the relative merits of our preferred pronunciations, with me on Team Gala, my eldest daughter on Team Gala, and the youngest daughter opting to be Switzerland. The argument ended when my older daughter said, it's like data and data, which is a good compromise, until she added, and I hate people who say data. This, of course, put her in the inherently contradictory position of preferring gala to gala, but not data to data. So I saw it as my fatherly duty to underscore this point a few times as we headed home. Ah, good times. Sugar Grove, here's Chip on Friday Fung. Hello, Chip.
Hi, guys. This goes back to the late 80s, college days.
bunch of us were sitting around watching reruns of The Love Boat, if you can believe that. And two guys start arguing about who was the producer of The Love Boat. So, of course, it's Aaron Spelling, and one guy insisted it was that. The other guy insisted it was someone else. So I jumped in because it was getting pretty heated, and I said, guys, how about you make a wager, and whoever loses the wager has to buy pizza for all of us. And they were in such a heated argument, they both agreed really quickly. So we waited till the end of the show, and, of course, it's Aaron Spelling. The guy who lost the bet is just furious. He's livid. He's like, I'm not buying pizza for any of you guys. This is stupid. How'd you get involved in this? So we start riding him. You're welching on this bet. And he leaves. And he welched on the bet. He left. And we had to do something else for pizza. But he came back about an hour later with his head hanging low, going, okay, I'll buy you guys pizza.
Thanks, Chip. The pre-internet era, back when arguments could last an entire school year, entire time at overnight camp. The same argument would come up and and reignite, and there was no way to just immediately grab your phone and settle it. Mm-hmm. Song lyrics, the whole thing.
I love those things because I could always be wrong.
Tom says, 2 of my college roommates once got in an argument if they would marry Priest Holmes or not for $1 million. What? Were they marrying? Did they have to make a decision together as to whether or not to marry him? Mark is in Joliet. He's on the score.
Good Lord.
Hey, guys, love your show. I had a stupid argument with my parents when I was living with them as to whether or not I could get HBO to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. They didn't let me. So I ended up being excommunicated from the family legit for 1.5 years because they thought I was talking to my girlfriend about it. I'm now married to that girl. She's my wife. Thanks.
What?
The phone line's open.
What?
I don't know.
What? Huh?
I don't think that's quite it, is it?
Right. No,
okay.
No, I have a strange family as a different bit.
Should think about that.
North Side, Orrin is on the score.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
I had an ex-girlfriend with whom I could have filled up this entire segment, and there was a winter where she and I argued the entire winter because the first snow I had thrown my head back to catch a snowflake on my tongue. And she was convinced that you should never do that because there was a base amount of human fecal matter in the air because of airplanes dumping their lavatories. And so clouds simply had a base amount of fecal matter, and so there was a certain amount of human waste in every snowflake you would catch on your tongue. It took me an entire winter to convince her that that wasn't the case.
I wouldn't have... I mean, I hope she was worth having around if that's the kind of thing you're dealing with. I mean, there must be... I hope that was really worth having it around the entire winter. Wow. In McKinley Park, Caleb, you are in WSCR.
What's up, fellas? It's my first time calling. I love you guys' show.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a stupid argument or just a complete waste of time. I don't understand people who will tune into a radio show or like a page on Facebook, just constantly paying attention to somebody that they don't like, and they'll text and say, I'm not watching you guys anymore, and then they keep on doing it. It's like you try to convince them it's a waste of time. Why are you guys doing it? And it was like, well, we're trying to, I'm just want to let them know. Like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. You see that with divisive guys like, Tom Brady and Floyd Mayweather. They, people will literally like their page just to talk trash on it. And it's like, what?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me, man. I saw a dude one time, somebody, I think Floyd gave a gift to a girl with cancer. People were just talking trash to it. Well, that won't take away her cancer. I'm like, what in the world is wrong with you? I don't know.
Okay,
it's just funny to me.
Okay, so those are the dumb arguments, I guess, I think. Yeah, I'm looking for a little more specificity here. Brian in Oak Forest said, sitting at a college bar with my roommates, arguing over whether it was David Bowie or Freddie Mercury who sang the song Under Pressure. So after we argue, we go over to the jukebox, and then we found out that they both sang it together. Andy is in Northwest Indiana. He's on the score. It's Andy.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Hey,
it's
great
going
job
fine.
So far today. I wanted to elaborate on an employee or a coworker that uses the caps lock key on all of the emails that he sends in the office. So when he sends emails to everybody, he has the caps lock key on. A new employee came up to me one time and said, "Why is this employee always yelling at me?" It was pretty funny.
Okay,
we've lost our way here.
Yeah, that's not an argument.
We're drifting into something. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's just
how about that whole deal?
Thank you, Donald.
We're getting into just things that happen. Next Friday, Fung. It's going to be great. You call up and tell us about something that happened.
It seems so easy. Dumb argument.
Dumb argument.
So simple.
What is the subject of the argument? Pecatonica Jim, you're on the score.
Hi. I was watching a ball game one afternoon, and my teenage daughter, walked in and asked if it was okay if my wife was going to make hamburgers and corn for lunch. So I walked into the kitchen after a while, and I was going to get a beer, and I saw my wife cooking hamburgers, and she had 4 cans of corn sitting on the counter. So I asked her, I said, "Well, you don't think that there's like thirds of corn on the cob in the can, do you?" And she looked at me and she said, "Well, duh, yeah, look at the picture on the front of the can." So I just grabbed my beer and I turned around and I went back in the living room and I sat down. And when I sat down was the worst part, because I thought about her and then I was like, oh my God, that's like genetic. My kids are, I had major concern for my kids.
Okay, that's another bit. Oops,
I served under major concerns.
I married an idiot.
Oh,
she can still serve the corn. It's just not on the cob. You can still eat it. That's a can of corn.
Should we take a break?
Oh, absolutely, we should.
I think we'll take a break.
Kind of reconnoiter a little bit.
Yeah, reconnoiter. Great. I know. Yeah, I apologize for that. But again, dumb arguments.
Yeah, that's not really it's not dumb wife.
We could do that all day.
Right. Yeah.
You could do that
How long you
all
got?
day. I'm sure you could. But anyway, we'll come back with dumb arguments. Friday, Fung, Boers and Bernstein, Chicago Sports Radio, 670 The Score.
Fung is winning is Fung. Fung is winning is Fung.
That's what we're doing. Dumb arguments.
We're trying.
Yeah, we're working our way to it. We're hopeful that this bank of calls.
Nebulous bit.
Yeah. It's not my wife's an idiot or my family hates me, but that's okay. Next is Justin in Plainfield on the score.
So a few years ago, a couple of coworkers and I went out to the bar to watch the Bulls game. And about halfway through the game, my manager, just kind of making an in-passing comment, says, "Still blows me away that Joachim's dad is Yanni." And I said, "You mean like Yanni?" And he said, "Yes, that Yanni, the famous musician." So trying to give him an out and not make him look stupid, I said, "Oh, you're confusing him with Yannick Noah, the tennis player." He said, "No, it's Yanni, the musician." Just went back and forth for a while. It got kind of heated, but he's my manager, so I had to be careful. We bet some money on it. The next day, he said the argument never happened, and we never talked about it again.
That is awesome.
Now that's what we're talking
awesome,
about.
That your boss thought his father was Yanni. But Joachim Noah's father was not Yannick Noah, but Yanni. Not emaciated street Yanni either. That's Doug McDermott's father.
And we can probably put Yanni, by the way, from years ago on our list of the greats we've interviewed over the years. Yanni.
Are the people we made not interesting?
Yeah, we did.
So Jeff says, freshman year in college, 5 buddies and I sat in a dorm room. We argued for 6 hours about who the most attractive Disney princess was. All right, well, I can tell you this. There is an answer to that if you're talking about the actors who actually portray the Disney princesses at the theme parks. There is Jasmine, and then there is everybody else. And it's not even close. Because the Cinderellas all look alike. They're all blonde and pretty and perky. the Snow Whites all look alike with the white makeup and the dark hair, but the range of jasmines. You've got Indian jasmine, Mexican jasmine, Filipino jasmine, Persian jasmine. It's like that's where they can. That is undeniable and settled law of the land. If I had
too much time a day. That's too much.
Well,
time,
you get
dude.
bored. Where are you going to your study?
That's too much time.
I'm just telling you. If you're a connoisseur of the various incarnations of jasmine, that's the end all be all. That is it.
I am not.
Shane in Rockford, you're on the score.
Hey, boys. So I'm sitting in the bar a couple weeks ago, and there's some guys down there reminiscing about Juan Pizarro and all the other people that they used to watch. And one of them goes in dead to rights that if it weren't for Dennis Eckersley in Game 1 of the 1989 NLCS, the Cubs would have won that series. Now, I don't know if the Cubs won or lost that, but I know that Dennis Eckersley was winning an MVP for the A's that season. So, of course, after a couple minutes of back and forth, we make a bet for a couple shots and pull out my phone and show them the date of transactions on Baseball Reference and Box Scores, and even show them the home run that Kirk Gibson hit in 1988 off of him as he was pitching for the A's. The guy welched on the bet, stormed out of the bar without paying his tab, and was still swearing up and down that you can just make up anything on the internet. You kids don't know anything about baseball. So that was my dumbest argument I've had in quite a long time.
Whatever happened to Juan Pizarro and the guy I used to grow up with?
We'll do more after an update. Let's do more dumb arguments, shall we?
Let's get a big finish to this.
Tom is in Schererville and is on Sports Radio 670.
Hey, guys, I don't know if you remember, but in the early 1970s, there was a little-known band called the Jimmy Castor Bunch, and they did this horrific song called Troglodyte. So for years, we couldn't figure out the words because they were so jarbled up, and half of us thought that the words to the song were, they backed her up, and half of us thought that she backed off, and we've never resolved it, but we spent eons of meaningless argument over it.
Why didn't you look it up?
Well, that was before the days of the internet. It's not worth looking up.
But we have it now. We now
it's more
have
fun to argue about it.
We have the internet now. Tim is in Manhattan on the score.
Tim? Hello?
Hello, Tim.
Well,
I think
so he gets for being in my place.
That gets it for Tim. John says in college, we had a roommate who always left an oscillating fan running when nobody was home. And we lived in Phoenix, so the electric bill was high enough in the summer. We argued about wasting electricity. And she claimed if she had to turn off her fan, we had to unplug the toaster because it too wasted electricity. At that point, I laughed, claimed victory, and walked away. Dan says it was late during my wedding. All the hangers-on were getting more drinky, and we started arguing about the name of the robot from the 1970s show Buck Rogers, the one that went... And one group firmly believed it was Twiggy. The other firmly believed it was Twinkie. And this went on for an hour.
That's totally different.
But in the end, we were all wrong because the robot's name was Tweaky. Should have asked me. I could have told you that. Tim in Willow Springs, you're on Friday Fung on the score.
Hi. In 2010, during the Stanley Cup playoffs, I had friends over to watch the game, and one of my friends just mentioned casually, hey, you know, my cousin is engaged to Brian Campbell, who is the defenseman for the Blackhawks. And I knew he was lying because my cousin was actually engaged to Brian Campbell, and we argued back and forth for about a half hour or so. And then he finally asked me what my cousin's name was, and I told him, and it turned out that we had the same cousin, and we did not know we were related by marriage until that moment.
I'm surprised.
That's what you know. What that is? That's your typical Hawks party. That's pretty much it. That's it. That's it right there.
Turns out we're related.
How would it take you that long? Like, what would the odds be that one person would just be making that up? And I mean, wouldn't you just immediately think, well, wait a second, we're probably talking about the same person?
You would, but that's again,
let's just say Blackhawks party.
It's a Blackhawks party.
Once young Sam says, My freshman year of college, I got into an argument with a friend over a Grateful Dead poster he had in his room. The poster depicted two of the dead skeletons sitting on a hill overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. The bridge was filled with traffic, and we debated rather heatedly whether or not the skeletons on the hill were causing the Gawker traffic jam. Or were they just watching a traffic jam at what appeared to be rush hour? I claimed that seeing two ambulatory skeletons on a hill would, of course, cause that traffic jam. And his argument was they were too far away from the bridge to be spotted. And as it appeared to be around dusk, it could easily have been rush hour. This went on for 45 minutes. This argument may or may not have been influenced by both of us being on hallucinogens. The argument over whether the poster was actually there and or depicted what we thought never actually took place. Standing the bit on its ear. All right, you want to call it after this one? What do you say?
Yeah, we should. We should keep the time.
We got some basketball news we got to get to, too.
Something interesting.
Alex in Elmhurst, you were going to close out dumb arguments on the score.
Hey, guys. So about 4 years ago, I was a senior in high school, and I got into an argument with some friends over which types of microwaves were better to use, ones with buttons or ones with a knob dial. And 4 years later, we still had this argument back and forth with each other, and it concluded that last night we just had a shouting match at this bar when we got together, and we still couldn't solve it.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
It's a mercy kill.
Yeah, because how you turn on the microwave, I really don't think has anything to do with anything, frankly. But thank you for that.
What a way to finish!